Now the question is do I see analysis of the following sentence. So let us see first question. The old tree swayed in the wind. So that's a subject, right? And then you know that tree diagram is based on phrases, noun phrase and verb phrase. So that's the first one is noun phrase, this one noun phrase, and this is verb phrase, right? Then noun phrase, the old tree. So that's a, this way actually they have done not bracket, they're not tree but bracket, right? Then swayed in the wind, so that's a swayed verb. And in the wind, prepositional phrase, that's in will be dropped, the wind, then the. So this way we I have to explain it later on, but let us see that what is this. Then the small boy saw George with a crazy dog recently. So the small boy, that's a noun phrase, right? And then saw George with crazy, that's a that's a predicate phrase, predicate phrase, right? Or that's a verbal phrase, right? Then the small boy will be done. Then saw, that's a main verb. Then George with a crazy dog recently, so that's a George, right? So that is again a noun phrase, right? So here noun will be dropped. Then with a crazy dog recent, so that's a with a that's a prepositional phrase. Then with, then so that is a crazy dog, that is again noun phrase, right? So that's a crazy dog. Here you can say that's a crazy dog. Then is that's a, then crazy dog. So crazy dog is verbal, uh, verbal phrase. Sorry, the crazy dog is adjective phrase. फिर that's a recently, that is adverb, right? So this way it will be translated. Eleanor took Theodore's pants off. So that's a annealer. That's a took. That's a verbal phrase. That's a noun phrase. That's a verbal phrase. Then verb will be dropped. Then again noun phrase. And then Theodore's pant. So that's a, that is challenging. We have already learned that there are some challenges. And then took and off. So off is particle, right? And then the old men and the women stayed at home. So the old men and women, and then stay, that's a verb phrase. And then the different, then old men and women, old men and women. And then so old men, and there's a conjunction, and women, and stayed at home, right? So the dog chases the cat, the dog chases the cat. Simple. The tree structures are very easy. So that's the tree structures are very easy, right? So the tree structures then are then very easy this way. Okay, now what is ambiguity? What its types with example. The ambiguity occurs when a sentence or phrase has multiple interpretation, right? Sentence or phrase, whatever, sentence or phrase have multiple interpretation. It can arise from various linguistic elements. Why? Because leading to different meanings. Ambiguity can be classified into lexical ambiguity, syntactic ambiguity, semantic ambiguity, and pragmatic ambiguity, right? That's a lexical is, that's occurs when the uh, word, right, word has multiple meanings. The bank, very common. And then the sound made by a dog, right? So that is sorry, bark. Okay, so bark is, that's a tree's bark, right? And then the dog sound, so that's a sentence. The bark was loud, the sound made by dog, and the outer covering of tree, right? Now syntactic is when structure, right, structure of the sentence allows to multiple interpretation. I saw the man with the telescope, we have already used, that's a man with telescope. Or that's a, I have seen the man with telescope. So that one in your hand telescope, and then one man's hand in telescope. And then semantic ambiguity occurs then the sentence has multiple meaning due to meanings of words, right? That is called semantic. And syntactic, that's a syntactic, semantic, and lexical, right? And that's a, he is looking for a match, right? So that is, he is looking for a match. That's a he is searching for a game or competition, right? And then he is searching for something to the light matchbox, right? Match to fire, light the fire, right? And then pragmatic ambiguity occurs when the context of sentence leads to multiple interpretations context, right? So that's a, can you pass the salt, so that's a request for someone to hand over the salt, or send a question about someone's ability to pass the salt. So one is ability and one is request, right? That's a request and that's a ability. Okay, so this is something. So thank you so much. God bless you.